We're entering Punta Banda, and shortly up on the left will be the trailer park La Jolla, which we're going to be visiting. But right before that, we're going to go out on the peninsula of Punta Banda, where there's Old Mission Brewery, and the Baja Cove, where there's houses for rent and people have houses. And those are pickled olives and peppers. And this is also the road that goes to the famous La Bufador, which is a blowhole of hot water from the earth at the very end of it. And there's 600 expats who live in this area. This is the entrance where we go to the Old Mission Brewery, which has music almost daily. They have an organic farm on Sundays, farmers market. And they have American-style pub grub, so it's a fun place. There's a lot of safe communities and places to visit that Americans aren't coming to because of the bad press.
And this area is predominantly Americans, and everywhere you go, you go have a cocktail, or you go out dining, or wherever you go, it's all Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And so it makes it pretty easy to live here. It makes you not learn the language as fast as you should, because it's too easy to get along without learning the language. But other than that, it's fine.
Good fishing?
Good fishing, and I'll tell you something else they have, an incredible transportation system. You get on any corner anywhere, and a bus is going to pick you up within 20 minutes and take you anywhere you want to go.
Do you flag them?
Yeah, you flag them. You just be along the highway, along the road, anywhere. I hike over to the Bufadora 5 miles from here, me and my dog. It's another thing, you take dogs on the microbus. And me and my dog...
Even a big dog.
A big dog like Murphy. We get on there and we sit down on the bus for 80 cents.
Do they charge the dog?
No.
Okay.
For 80 cents, they bring us back over here. So, and if I want to go party on a Friday night at the La Bufadora, I take the micro up and I party, and I come back with the micro. I don't have to drive my car.
But what time does the bus stop?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock at night.
So you got to get home early.
Yeah.
Just start early.
Well, yeah. Nothing good happens after midnight, so there you go. Be home.
Nothing good happens after midnight. Unless you're in your own house.
Yes.
Yeah. Mexico in the next 10 years is basically going to run out of water unless they put together a plan. And so the Mexican government has put together a plan based on local communities taking the direct action of putting in desalination plants. And we're going to see 6 of them throughout the peninsula, and maybe more. And they're also going to do tertiary sewer treatment, so they can use their sewer water as drinking water, which they do in many places in the United States. And so their water is a very important resource in Baja, and it's going to be more and more important as time goes on.
And coming from the Great Basin, we know that it's an issue up there too. You were saying Rosarito will have, do they have one?
They do not have one now, and when they put the one in, the intention is to sell some of that water to San Diego and into the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So, because San Diego doesn't have a place to put a plant that's cost effective, and
Right.
they'd rather buy it from somebody.
Right.
And they've already done that with sewage in Tijuana. They have a treatment plant in Tijuana that treats water for a portion of San Diego as well as for Tijuana.
Good. Okay.
So we're working closer and closer together, the communities.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, one thing recently that happened is a lot of kids from the United States are now going to Tijuana to get their education because it's less money and they have incredible schools. And, so we're seeing kids fleeing the United States because they can't afford it and going to Mexico to school. People in Tijuana are sending their kids as exchange students to the United States.
So you said the Mexican government and the U.S. government's working together a lot more than people realize.
Incredibly close. Incredibly close. Yeah, also with the fighting the drug cartel. I mean, we now have ICE agents down here, that are in plain clothes fighting crime.
We had a guy come out of nowhere yesterday when we were at a cafe, and somebody tried to come up and ask us for some money, and this man came from the other side and stopped her and said, go, and I was like, where did he come from? He just came out of nowhere.
Right.
And then he went back to the corner, and I was like, wow, I never even noticed him before. But then I started paying attention and realized they were on every corner,
Right.
just hanging out, watching.
But we're really lucky in Baja because we don't have to put up with what they're putting up in Juarez and areas like that. I mean, yeah, we have crime, but I don't think any more so than they have in every American city.
Well, and
Yeah.
I heard an interview today, and it was so relative. People come here, and they leave their brains at the border, and they go into neighborhoods, and they do things that they would never do in their community in America. I mean, if you lived in Beverly Hills, you wouldn't go too far in one direction or the other because it's a bad neighborhood, and you don't do that here. And you
don't
just have
drive
to have
around
the same...
Yeah, you wouldn't drive around East Los Angeles at
Absolutely
night.
not.
No, absolutely not.
Some people coming down from Northern California, and they said, would it be safe to come down here? And I said, well, I tell you what, if you make it through Los Angeles, it should be safe from that point on.
Well, and I drove recently between San Diego and LA, and there are no signage at all on Highway 5 about getting off and getting gasoline or bathroom or food or anything like there are on every highway in Mexico. And I had to get off. And there was graffiti on the toilet seat. Now that's a dangerous neighborhood, and I wouldn't normally go into a neighborhood like that. But I want to say one thing about Ensenada as well is that we have a lot of festivals going on here. This is here, the second biggest carnival in all of Mexico. And I was really impressed. You and I came from Key West, and I have never seen so many porta toiles. They had, the entire area was completely cordoned off with proper fences, and they were checking people's purses, their backpacks, frisking you if need be, and they made arrests, and it was safe. They're there to protect us, and they're doing a really good job. And yesterday you and I were down on First Street, and the Army was there, and it gave me comfort.
Yeah, they were all over it.